Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. My name is Nauman Ahmed and I am from Halqa Spring Valley. For the Abdus Salam Science Fair 2022, my topic is why some plants don't grow at home. In this presentation today, I'm going to cover the three main topics. The first topic is why some plants don't grow at home. The second topic is 4 main reasons why the plant dies at home. And the last topic I'm going to cover is what can we do to solve this. So our first topic is why don't some plants grow in homes? So Dr. Katie Cooper says that plants don't grow in homes because they don't get enough light, water, or they get way too much water. It may seem obvious, but one of the most common reasons why your plant might have stopped growing is because it's not getting enough of what it needs to thrive. If your plant is getting insufficient natural light or warmth, it may conserve all its energy so that it can stay alive. Dr. Cooper explains that when plants are in panic mode, they may drop leaves so their food doesn't have to travel far. So they definitely won't be growing. So what we know so far from the previous slide. So what we know so far is that the plants can't grow in homes because they don't receive enough water, light, and warmth to thrive. So that means if they can't grow, we have to figure out another way to keep it alive. So we're going to talk about the 4 common ways the plants can die. So number 1 is it gets insufficient nutrients. Number 2 is it gets pests. Pests are basically animals or insects that attack crops. Number 3, its roots bounded. Number 4 is it's reached its full potential. So the first topic we're going to talk about is insufficient nutrients. So the problem with insufficient nutrients is that the plants can also suffer deficiencies when the growing conditions are poor and the plants are unable to take up nutrients present in the soil. Dryness and waterlogging can all make it difficult for plants to make up soil nutrients. So what is the effect in the plant? A plant that lacks an essential nutrients cannot complete its life cycle. The seeds may not sprout, the plant may not be able to develop roots, stems, leaves, or the flower properly, or may be able to produce seeds to create new plants. Often the plant itself will just end up dying. So the second topic is pests. The problem with pests is that plant pests interfere with the growth and cause damage naturally to growing plants. The interference and the damage results in the failure of plants to reach their genetic potential. So what is the effect? As pests feed on plant, they are reducing their nutrients and weakening them. The longer this happens, the more likely it is that the leaves will fall off. The third topic is root bound. So what is the problem with root bound? If the problem is not corrected before planting in the garden, a plant often just keeps developing its roots in a tight circular fashion and never sends those roots out in the surrounding soil. This may cause the plant eventually to choke itself and maybe even die. So what is the effect of root bound? The root stops growing actively, and as a result, the upper portions of the plant begin to show common symptoms such as less growing, smaller new leaves, poor quality flowers or lack of flowers, and yellowing, dropping older leaves. So when a plant reaches its full potential, there's probably really no issue with it. Well, the only thing you have to make sure to do is when it reaches its full potential is when it does, you simply cut a little bit of its roots off, and you make that way the plant will just keep reproducing and reproducing. So the last topic in this presentation is how to save the plant from dying. So last but not least, we need to discuss ways we can make the plant not die. Firstly, we're going to repot the plant using a high quality indoor plant potting mix to regenerate your plant. So if you want to keep planting your plant inside, for example, it's a plant that you can plant inside your house, you probably want to use something that's maybe high quality. And next you're going to choose a pot that's wider than its last one. If your plant is dehydrated, add some water. If your plant is getting too much sun, look for dry, brittle leaves and light or dark patches on the leaves. If your plant isn't getting enough light, the leaves may be smaller and pale. Move your plant to a new home with better light. Water your plants. If your soil is very dry and the leaves are brittle, the plant is dehydrated and needs water. Don't flood the soil. Water your plants until the soil feels damp. So make sure it is damp, not flooded. However, if your plant is suffering from too much water, the roots will start to rot and mold could grow. So you should find out how much water your plant needs. Most plant needs less water throughout the winter months. If your plant is being invaded with insects, wipe down the leaves with a damp cloth or a mild soap solution. That is it for my Abdus Salam Science Fair 2022 presentation. Jazakallah for watching. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.